So we want to create a list of all Olympic and Paralympic sports here. And we actually want our list to be an object because we need the values to be the localized strings of the sports name. And we're pulling all these sports names just from lists across the Olympic and Paralympic websites. So we need to find a way to construct our object programmatically. And we can use Vim globals and macros to accomplish what we want. So first, let's go ahead and just copy all the sports into what's going to be our object. And there's no consistency, unfortunately, across all these sites. Thankfully, most of them are just text that can be copied and pasted, except for this one, which is in a table format, but thankfully we have just a quick little helper that'll help us allow us to copy the names of those sports out of the federation tables real quick. You'll notice too that there are some duplicates we'll have to take care of as well. So, all right, now we have all possible sports in here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that provisional text at the end of some of them. Replace provision with nothing. Looks good. Let's also go ahead and remove, in case I accidentally copied some white space at the end of any of these lines, let's go ahead and copy any white space. So any white space at the end of lines, let's replace with nothing. Okay. And let's also make sure that they're all the same case. We want to use title case here for all our sports, and you can see some of them are in full caps. So we'll first make them all lowercase and then just capitalize the first letter. Let's also go ahead now and sort them and only keep unique lines. Great, now it's time to actually construct that object. So we're going to do that using a Vim macro. So we start the macro and register Q, and it's going to listen for all the events until we tell it to stop doing that. So let's first go ahead and wrap our sport in quotes, then copy everything that's inside those quotes, put it under some group name. We'll say olipara.sports. That will pull from Dragamon eventually. Paste that sport name, add a comma, drop to the beginning, or drop to the next line, go back to the beginning, and exit our macro. And now let's run that same macro for all of these. So we can use the norm command and use register Q. We're saying normalize these lines using what we just did inside of that macro, right? And it's going to apply all those changes we just did to the first line to the rest of these sports here, which is pretty awesome. And you can even see that Prettier is now recognizing this as valid TypeScript, so we can save it. It'll update correctly. It got rid of the quotes when it didn't need them and kept them on the keys that it did. And we also now have our localized strings that we can pull from as well for all the sports that are now fully sorted, unique, and good to go. Pretty cool.